gets really nervous on camera.
He's really nervous. We're live. Okay, awesome. This is like the third time someone said we're live, but this is the only actual time that we are live. First two people were just joking around.
When did they say that?
I don't know. You were here when we were... Anyways, checking mics. Andrew Curlin here, Dirty Mo Live, here with Travis Rockhold. Alex Timms, producer of the Dale Jr. Download. Timms, welcome. Welcome to Dirty Mo Live.
Thanks for having me.
Is this the first one this year that you're on?
It's been a while. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know when I was last on.
How does it feel to be back in the studio?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I mean,
it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always watching from above.
Yeah.
He
I'm always
is
watching. Big
Tim's
fan.
always watching from above, quite literally. Most of the time editing the Dale Jr. Download. But it was a lighter edit of a week for you with Business and Motorsports. But that was a good episode.
A great episode with Sam Flood. You guys check it out. We also had an Ask Junior in there. Very nice Ask Junior. A lot of good questions. You were on that episode.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah, I was tardy, actually.
You were late, but you know,
late.
you made up for it with some great questions.
Yeah, so I was actually sitting out here in the hallway for probably 15 minutes because you're like, all right, Ask Junior's about time, ready to go. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get here early. So I was sitting out here in the hallway, and then it came to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to run upstairs because I need to get some stuff done. I'll just have you text me when you're ready. Well, of course, you texted me. People called me. I didn't get, like, my phone just didn't get any of those calls.
Do you believe this?
And so I actually... I got a call from the reception desk saying it was time to go, and that's when I knew it was time to come to Ask Junior.
Yeah, you could call the principal's office because you were so late.
Yeah, it was definitely awkward walking in here. Everyone's looking at you.
Yeah.
Waiting for you.
Yeah.
It was awkward. Anyways.
Let's make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Listen, you guys were in Nashville this past weekend.
We were.
And I've heard plenty of stories already. And I think we even have a video that Tim's, I think you threatened to release the video, right?
I did.
I've been trying to pay him off to.
And we made it to Dirty Mo Live, but I think your time
Wait,
is
you guys
up
have
for this.
it?
We've got it, and it's ready to go. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh,
we're not going to get to that quite yet. Overall, how was Nashville? Y'all were at Old Red, right?
Old Red live Dale Jr. Download. It was awesome. The crowd was electric. It was my first time in Nashville altogether, so I almost didn't come back. I
really
loved
your
it.
first time in Nashville?
Yeah, I'd never been. Surprisingly, I know, right?
Huh. I for some reason thought you had been before.
No, I've always wanted to. It was number one on the list, and I just waited till the company went there. And then I went there.
You went there. You're like, yeah, I'll go to Nashville if I have to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you're from Nashville.
No, but I was living there before I moved here.
Right. That's what
so yeah, I had was there for like 15 months, and so I flew in on Thursday, stayed with some friends, went out Thursday night, and then I think it was out till like 12:30-ish on Thursday.
Dang, Thursday.
We had a friend that was out even later. The Ring camera showed him getting back at 3:59.
Wow.
He had a 10 a.m. flight.
Good for him.
Yeah. So the show though was it was awesome. You should have seen. Tim's had the crowd on the edge of their feet going nuts. This man walks up on stage and starts chucking shirts and hats to the crowd. I've never like the command of the crowd that he had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So before Dale and Mike came on, me and Travis, our roles were to get the crowd hyped. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So Russell Dickerson played before. Awesome show, and then. You know, a lot of people they didn't know what was up next. We're like, oh, well, this is the opener, right? And then, our job was to throw some T-shirts and get the crowd hyped. And let me tell you, people go nuts if you have a free hat and a T-shirt. I mean, oh my God, they took us I had to go kind of through the crowd a little bit. And some dude was about to maul me for a hat. And
you're like, just take it.
Yeah,
I'll give it to you.
I got almost security escorted to the stage because people were going nuts. But the energy just
that's
goes right to
energy
you.
You want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was pumped.
Yeah.
I got a little into it.
And then my job was to actually introduce the guys, and let's just say I was nervous.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pucker.
So I saw the video of you introducing everyone. It seemed like you gave Mike way more energy, enthusiasm than Dale Jr.
Well, because it's as I said in the video, do I even need to say Dale's name?
That's right.
I don't need to. So I was just, Dale, Earnhardt Jr. Like I didn't need to like where Mike. Also Mike's name is just very like easy to just Mike Davis. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
Like
bam, bam.
yeah, but Mike wasn't expecting me to separate the two. I think he was expecting me to say Mike Davis and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And I let it breathe, and then he realized that he needed to come up there. I was,
Yeah.
listen.
Well, Travis really did a good job of commanding the stage. Like, he was nervous. He was saying, "Oh, I'm really nervous." And then he walked around that entire stage in like he had a mission. He was like, "I'm introducing Mike Davis."
Yeah,
and
you're preaching to the
boom.
crowd
I was
there.
Yeah.
trying to make eye contact with some fans, make them feel, welcome.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So all right, the show is on Friday, but you guys stayed on Broadway. Even took a boat out on Lake Nashville. Was it?
So we were
What's
out,
the name of the lake?
I think it was Lake Hickory.
Okay.
So yeah, we stayed. We both left on Sunday, and so Saturday we went out on the lake. We got to the boat I think at like 9:30, 10, and we're out on the lake until 1?
Like 1:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Good
And
amount
so,
of time.
you
for,
know,
like for the lake.
So we got our morning started. We were throwing them back at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So when did the infamous video happen that we're about to show everyone?
What time?
I can't even tell you what time or where.
But like what day?
Saturday night.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so Travis, you want to tee it up?
We
for
were-
us? You attempted to get on a mechanical.
We
bull.
were probably at least 8 hours in. So we had moonshine had been consumed already. Like we were running the gamut on things, and I was trying to talk Tim's into getting on a mechanical bull, and he said he wouldn't do it unless I did. So I said sure. I should have made him go first. I didn't.
He ran up to that bull.
I didn't run up
He
to the
ran
bull.
up to that bull.
Went up there to get on the bull, and the operator he screwed me.
I have seen
Allegedly.
the video. I disagree, but maybe we
Pull up the video then. Just pull it up and watch.
Are we good with the video? Yeah, we are. All right, I think we pull this video
Watch.
up. We let everyone interpret for themselves. Here we go. All right.
Now watch this. The bull starts moving towards me as I'm trying to get on, so I can't get up and over him. The bull operator, he attacked me.
Did he?
Yeah. And everyone's trying to say I just couldn't get on. No, he came. It moved at me. I couldn't do anything about it.
I think you just fell off.
Yeah. If you
Come
look
on.
at it, it slightly moved, but I'm not saying he didn't move it, but he didn't move it to the point where you couldn't. There was no bounce in that second get up.
Because I couldn't. My left leg was being pinned
You thought
by this
no.
bucking bull that was like in the PBR.
I think your athleticism failed you on that, and you thought you were getting on it. But if you look in the background, there's the
Yeah, you're in the background.
yeah, it's me and the girl that was going after us, and we at the same time look at each other when he falls off, and she goes, "Oof!" Like you knew it was bad when that happened.
And so we were with two of my friends, and so my friend Wendy was the one that was taking this, and at the second that it happened, it's like, oh no, and then she sent it to Alex, and I was just like,
Yeah. And now I
Tough.
have
It's-
proof. Yeah.
I got
I-
screwed by this guy.
I also don't think it was very helpful, at least for the sake of that video, that you were barefoot. I know you had to take your shoes off,
Yeah, it wasn't my choice.
but it just adds to it being.
Oh, it's way more
A
funny.
funny
Yeah, it's
video.
way more funny that he was barefoot. the
Yeah,
whole
he's like,
time.
where are
Yeah.
his shoes? Like he's fallen. Like,
And the fact he fell away from the camera, which was like even more funny. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's just like out of frame.
Yeah, the whole thing was hilarious.
I think that just about sums up your Nashville
Okay, but
trip.
so hold on a second though. I might have fallen off the bull, but I kept going the rest of the night. 0 complaints.
Yeah.
Alex
I know.
claims that like he dislocated his shoulder or something. He's still holding his
Something
shoulder.
happened.
How?
I don't know. I think I was holding it. I've always had like a shoulder that's kind of iffy.
Wait, you rode the mechanical bull
Yeah,
too?
after Travis, I had no issues. I got on it like easy peasy,
Yeah.
and then rode it.
Step one.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I don't even know how many shots later we had it consumed, and all of a sudden my shoulder's in like agonizing pain. I had someone have to come pop it in for me.
I
But
was
then it
ma-
was
What?
fine.
I
Then it
was
was fine.
massaging his shoulder
Yeah.
at the bar.
Yeah, it was wild. I don't know. I had an
And
injury.
you think you dislocated it on the mechanical bull?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there
So-
was an injury. There was
so-
an injury.
Oh man.
He should get more jokes than me.
But there was no video proof of that.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got the video proof. And Alex went
And
down
then
like a champ.
Yeah,
too.
I still survived the rest of the night as
Let
it
me
got
see if
popped
I
back
have
in. So
a video of you. I don't know. I don't think I do, unfortunately.
We'll have to pull it up on the next
Nope,
stream
I
live.
don't.
yeah,
I saw. Did you tweet it or maybe you? I can't remember where I saw a message, but you're like, "Hey, if the fairgrounds ever comes back, like, I wanna help out with that."
anything. I'll sweep the track with the broom. I don't care. I'll go back to Nashville. Doesn't matter.
So tell me, how far away is the racetrack
It's a good.
compared to the city versus like where the fairgrounds?
So
would
the
be?
racetrack is in Lebanon. It's a good 40 minutes away.
Oh yeah.
The fairgrounds is like a jump, hop, and a skip over, like south, I believe.
Okay.
So it's close. Like the where the MLS team plays at, I believe, is near the fairgrounds.
Got it.
So it's much closer. So yeah, I mean, I understand why, if you're local, like, and also if you're visiting, it's like, where do you stay at?
Yeah.
Do you stay near Nashville so you can go out a bunch? But then you have to make the drive, and then you're trying to get back from the track. And if you're drinking, then you can't drive, and so it does make it tough for people to navigate wanting to go to Nashville and the race.
Yeah. Interesting. It'll be. I know there's been discussions of the fairgrounds coming back. I think it would be cool to implement that racetrack. I mean, heck, nothing's out of the picture with Wilkesboro's revival.
What about Nashville having two races at two different tracks?
I'm game for it. I
You
say
like
we
it?
do it. Yeah, I say we do it. It's just I've for someone who's never been to Nashville, even though the racetrack might have been 40 minutes away, that is a whole weekend you can plan and have the best time. And you can see country music, you can see a NASCAR race, you can see all that stuff. And if you have it right next to where everything's at, I think it's a home run.
Oh, yeah, you should have seen. I met Alex at his hotel on Friday, and we were probably 3 blocks north of Broadway and walking out, and Alex instantly is like, I love this place. I mean, the brunch place at his hotel was a legitimate party, a DJ playing at like 11 a.m. on a
Dang.
Friday.
Yeah.
I've been to Nashville once. It was for about half a day when I had just like a long connecting layover, and the city did seem cool, but I want to explore it a little bit more. We'll have to go back when Chiefs opens.
We need to go back, and we need a man on the street with you.
Oh man, man on the street in Nashville would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I agree. Well, Nashville, they have a couple of different forms of motorsports in NASCAR. IndyCar races the streets there. We're going to the streets in Chicago this weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I mean, I grew up in the city of Chicago. That's my home track. I went to Chicagoland Speedway for a number of years. I think this is going to be a very cool event this weekend in Chicago. What do you guys think so far of what you've seen of the street race, drivers' comments? What did Denny have to say?
Well, I guess it depends on what side aspect you're looking at it. On the track, I think there's some nervousness. William Byron was on Actions Detrimental this week, and they were talking about the lack of passing, possibly. There's a few braking zones, but right after that, they're sharp turns, so it's going to be hard to pass. So on the track, there may not be a bunch, but I think the atmosphere, the build up this week and before the race, stuff like that, is going to be, electric. They're all the bells and whistles, concerts and all sorts of, they're kind of going with F1 models with some different hospitality, setups. So I think from that, if you're there, I think it'll be cool. On TV, I don't know yet. You have to wait and see, It depends on what you deem it as success, because if they bring in a bunch of new fans, then it's a net gain. But if you're not bringing too many fans and the on-air product doesn't look great, then who knows?
Yeah. Tim's, what do you think?
I think it's going to be different, and I'm excited. It's a good different,
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and I kind of go in there with no expectations, So
Mhm.
I'm just gonna watch and then have an opinion probably afterwards. But going in, I have no expectations or no opinions really.
That's interesting. Taylor Moyer, Josh Berry's Xfinity Series crew chief, was on Door Bumper Clear, working on the audio. It seems like, yeah. Tim's. Come on, man, fix your microphone.
This is
dude.
why I never on this show.
He's breaking equipment left and right. It's ridiculous. That's interesting you said that, because Taylor Moyer was on DBC today, Josh Berry's crew chief, and he's kind of going in with the same expectations as you kind of just described. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Even as a crew chief, he is like, well, we're as prepared as we can be, and we're ready to roll with the punches when we get on site at Chicago. Because I really do think, I mean, we have not seen anything quite like this.
So I think one area to pay attention to in the race is turn 4. So Denny was talking about he's done some sim work, and he's like, I spent like an hour, and I couldn't get past turn 4.
What do you mean couldn't get past turn 4?
He was like
just like
wrecking or whatever.
Who's wrecking every lap?
I don't want to put the word in his mouth because he didn't say wrecking, but he was just saying how like turn 4 was causing all these issues. I think it's a sharp kind of like 90 degree.
Do you know where it is located on the track?
After turn 3 and before turn 5.
All right. Yeah. Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. Great. That's going to be some really insider knowledge, specifically where turn 4 is in the stack of all the other turns.
What do you want me to say? It's on like Chicago. Like it's on Michigan Avenue.
It's
I don't
on Michigan
know.
Ave?
I don't know the
Oh.
Chicago streets, Gerlin.
Yeah, but I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I'll have to look at a map and see. But that, I think, why I ask is I think Dale is going to be stationed at turn 4, so he could be in a very exciting corner this weekend at Chicago. I'll have to see. We'll have to. We'll have to
next
ask
time
him.
I'll learn my Chicago street names.
Yeah, come on. You should have been more prepared for this. So with racing on the streets of Chicago, we went out and reached out to social media and asked people what other streets, what other cities would you like to see the street course at? And we got some pretty interesting answers. I had a few on my lists that people were tweeting out, but then there were some other suggestions that I thought were really cool. Off the top of your guys' head, before we get to the fan reactions, what's a city you would like to see run a street-style race like we're about to run in Chicago?
So the one that I want, I don't even know if logistically it would work, and definitely be just from a track perspective, but also just from getting there. But I think it'd be cool. Tokyo, you know that major area where like all the pedestrians walk across. Like if you had the cars go flying through there.
Without pedestrians, right?
Yeah. Without the pedestrians there, like I think that'd just be cool. And like I think if they went over, like go overseas once a year to a different market or whatever, different country or something, I think that'd be cool. Obviously I get there's a billion things that you have to go through with that, but in my hypothetical, with the show here, that's my answer.
That could be cool because I can't remember who it was who came in and I think it was Ben Kennedy on the download. And Tim's, you might be able to tell me. The Clash was they were thinking of doing that in a European arena, or that was the concept that they were going to bring across the pond, across the Atlantic to somewhere else, was having a facility already there, already established to race at. Well, every city's got streets. That could possibly be a window to get overseas, is pick a city that exists and just set up some walls, set up some barriers, and you're good to go. So, yeah, Tokyo would be pretty neat.
Ben Kennedy, I know you're watching.
Ben
Tokyo.
Kennedy, yes. All right, we're looking forward to seeing it. Tim's, what about you?
I like New York City, just 'cause I'm a New York guy.
Yeah?
Which I think Chicago is kind of similar in the
Yeah.
sense of it's a major city, so you're kind of going around that. But I don't know, it'd just be cool to say you're racing cars in the streets of New York City.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be?
I mean, that would be pretty cool to see them through Times Square.
Yeah.
Do you think they can get Times Square blocked off?
Listen,
That would be pretty neat.
our
I think Chip Ganassi came on the download and said he tried doing that many years ago, and it was a logistical disaster.
it would be a nightmare.
which I bet
Wait, Chip Ganassi tried doing it.
with IndyCar, I think they tried to do something like that. I could be wrong on specifics like that, but he came on. I do remember that conversation.
But we're not here to
Something New
give
York.
Yeah.
like solutions to how to get it done. We're just telling you to go do it there.
That would be
And you
pretty
figure
neat.
it out.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember, because it was a conversation coming up about the location of where we are in Chicago. I mean, we are smack dab in the heart of the city. It's very picturesque. We're using some significant streets, marquee streets, right along the lakefront.
What street names?
Michigan Ave's one of them. Columbus is another.
Alright.
There's 2. Lakeshore Drive, that's 3. Don't ask me to name any more.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. But they were talking about New York, and there was some sort of like New York offered for, I think it was an F1 bid, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. They offered up a different part than the central part of the city for F1 to race at. They ultimately didn't go that direction, but in terms of finding real estate for the city, I think it would be interesting to see if New York ever became a place, like where in New York would be the location that we would go to.
Yeah, it would just be so hard. Just think about where would pit road be?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know. So let's get to some of our
speaking. Hold on though. Where is pit road for Chicago? Do you know that? Like, is that in a cool spot?
I don't. I would assume it's along that like first front straightaway.
Jesus, don't know anything.
But man, Travis, you're gonna have to do some research.
I'm not
for
the
me.
local.
Yeah, you're
Listen,
right. Well,
last weekend in Nashville, I rolled out the red carpet for my friend Alex here. I'm asking a few questions to you from Chicago. I'm not even from Nashville, and I helped him. You can't help us.
yeah,
Let me ask you a question, Andrew.
Yeah.
then. What about going around like a major, like, why didn't they pick like around Wrigley Field? Like, I've never been to Chicago. Where is that? Is that not anywhere close to the city of Chicago?
Wrigley Field's in the city for
Yeah.
sure. I think the location they picked honestly is great. Grant Park, and that spot along the lakefront is already a venue that they use for types of big events. Not exactly like throwing a street race on, but where they hold Lollapalooza, other music festivals. Gosh, I'm blanking out on it. You know, culinary festivals and stuff like that. So like the footprint is a good spot for it, and I think picturesque. You've got the whole city skyline in the background.
Is it by the big jelly bean?
It is.
Is
It
that what
is
the
by
trophy is? Is just a miniature
Millennium
version
Park,
of it?
right next
Yeah.
to Grant Park. Yeah, yeah. So I think that in terms of location, they did a very good job of picking the best spot for the city of Chicago.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the
Yeah.
TV product and what it looks like.
Let's get to some of the suggestions the fans had. Kyle Lawler suggested Toronto. Again, another not United States city. I've never been to Toronto, but that could be cool, especially to get the Canadian fans
Yeah.
interested in it.
Yeah, I'd be
I
all
agree.
for it. I think they're NASCAR fans are yearning to go back to somewhere in Canada. So I think why not give Toronto a try? I know Montreal's everyone wanting to go back to, but try somewhere else.
I think what makes a good street course is that kind of like scenic view, and that
Yeah.
this is really embarrassing. What is that big tower in Toronto?
What is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Is
It's
it the needle or whatever that Drake was
yes,
on?
I don't know. But that is like what I picture a street course race. That is the picture like you would think. So Toronto's actually a really good answer.
Yeah. Keith said San Francisco, and that was actually one of the cities that I thought of in terms of being a good location for that. And a few other people said San Francisco, and one person said they want to see how they navigate all the hills. Which
That's
could be
what I
kinda
just
fun,
thought of. Yeah,
you
that
know?
would be really fun. Yeah.
It's the CN Tower.
And what does it do? This is in Toronto.
There's a 360-degree restaurant at the top.
It overlooks the Rogers Center of where the Blue Jays play.
Yeah.
That's what I know. I
Okay.
think. I think
It
at
held the
least.
record for the tallest freestanding structure on land for over 30 years.
Dang. Good for them.
Yeah.
How about that?
But yeah, San Francisco would be cool. You could drive by the Full House.
Is that where it's located?
It's out
Yeah.
there.
Is
yeah.
it?
It's San Francisco, yeah.
All right.
I don't. If you could find a way to go across, was it the Bay Bridge? Like that would just be so
Golden
cool.
Gate?
Golden Gate.
Like that would be awesome.
Yeah. That would probably be a logistical nightmare.
Tough to say.
But damn if it wouldn't be cool.
Hey,
Well,
we can dream.
That's the one thing
Let's
that.
make it like a Martinsville where like you just like
Yeah.
do laps around the bridge.
Well, that's the one thing that Nashville had for IndyCar is there's a few different bridges, and so they were able to use one of those bridges for the cars to drive on.
Right.
So it was just a cool look.
Oh yeah, definitely a cool visual of a car driving over water.
Yeah.
And I think we can hear Alex Timms now, right?
Can you guys
That's
hear
the
me?
consensus.
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
so. I got
Yes.
thumbs up.
Thank you to the team for working hard on that. It wasn't I don't think it was you, Alex.
I'd say we
maybe,
blame him,
Maybe
though.
you did break the mic.
Listen, I
but-
just kept talking in case somebody could hear me.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
not, I hear myself.
Can we blame
so.
him, Dustin?
For
We
the
just-
first half, he was just
Perfect, yep.
speaking into the void. He blames us too. Yeah.
This next one is my favorite. I don't know who said
Go
it.
ahead. From Chris Berg.
At least I think it's the one on my list here. The Long Beach
Yeah.
joint IndyCar weekend. If you could pull that off, What a weekend for race fans. Like, you have IndyCar on Saturday and NASCAR on Sunday.
So they do that at Indy, and it is a very cool. I went to that race last year, and it was really neat seeing both garages alive, and you've got Indy cars on track 1 second, and the next thing you know, there's Cup cars on the track. It was a very cool visual, especially me who doesn't get to a whole lot of IndyCar races. That was a great way to experience IndyCar. So, again, Long Beach.
And, listen, they're trying to go out west, and so there you go.
I think the only thing is if we're going to do, I think the Indy road course is more made for race cars and IndyCar. We're going to have to see, I think, Chicago being a street race, the litmus test of if this really works, maybe a weekend like that where we do an already established street course for an IndyCar race. Maybe that's more of a real possibility than it will ever have been if Chicago this weekend is a success.
I was gonna say, I wonder how different an IndyCar street race is to a NASCAR street race. Like, what do they need the same? Is the turns too tight for a NASCAR race to be thrilling and, I don't know, competitive? Like, I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna find out this weekend, and I think that's where a Long Beach or a St. Pete that IndyCar already goes to might not be good or could be really good for NASCAR.
Yeah. And again, on that same note, Chuck said Nashville/Belle Isle, Belle Isle being in Detroit. Again, and, well, I mean, we go to Michigan International Speedway, but the Belle Isle street course is also pretty scenic and would be cool to check out.
Yeah, I'm going with the Nashville one.
I know you're
I vote
You're
Nashville.
harsh with Nashville. Well, I mean, you can't get any closer to the city than that.
I mean, can you imagine those cars going across one of those bridges?
It would be
Like, it would just be awesome. Make it happen. Let's go. Give them 3 races. One in Lebanon, one at the fairgrounds, the road course.
Yeah,
Dang.
we don't need to combine.
Yeah.
Let IndyCar go there. Let
Give
NASCAR
them
go
3,
there.
and
Yeah.
I say we do 3 live downloads
I-
there too.
Second that.
all right. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
Let's just get the wheels in motion for this one, I think. Denver, Green Bay were 2 others suggested by Danny. Denver would be cool. The Colorado market seems like it's completely untapped.
Yeah. You know what's cool? It's,
Well done.
It's like
Thank
those mountain scenic views you get from when you go to like
Yeah.
Fontana, Vegas.
Yeah.
That's what I picture of like Denver being or Colorado. Never been, so I don't know.
I don't know how Green Bay would
I've never been to Green Bay.
because
It's like a small town.
well, you
isn't it?
you think Lambeau Field, but you couldn't drive by Lambeau Field because that's like in a neighborhood.
Yeah, but
Right.
you think like that might be cool for
But
one
you
day.
can't go through a neighborhood though.
Just a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine
Hey.
if you live on that street.
Yeah,
could
you
you
know,
know how
Denny
cool
Hamlin
that would
is
be?
is doing donuts in our cul-de-sac right now.
Yeah,
like how cool would that
exactly.
be? And it's like America if you go by Lambeau Field in a race car. Come on.
Yeah, but it just you're not gonna have the turns, and I don't. That one wouldn't work. Let's just stick to Tokyo.
Fine. All right. New Orleans.
Yes, I
think
love
that
this
would be
one.
That's
cool.
a good one. Yeah.
Shoot, I don't know who tweeted this one out. I just wrote New Orleans. I know it was a fan suggestion, so I'm sorry if it was
I'm
you.
gonna look it up.
That's very underrated. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of waiting for New Orleans. I was the 2 that came on the top of my mind were San Francisco and New Orleans. I feel like in terms
Really?
of like interesting, notable cities that would be cool and niche enough and a place that we don't really go to, although I guess we have Sonoma and San Francisco. So New Orleans really seems to be the winner out of what I
Yeah.
just described.
Yeah. That they would show up. I feel like that area. I feel like you tell them there's a NASCAR race coming, they'll be like, yeah, let's check it
Heck
out.
yeah. I mean, yeah. The party's already started. Just bring a NASCAR race
Robert Green.
Robert Green
Yeah.
suggested New Orleans.
When's Mardi Gras? Just have it like the week after.
Yeah, I don't know when Mardi Gras is.
I don't
I feel
know.
like it just happened. Is it in March? I feel like I don't know enough about Mardi Gras. Dalton's nodding his head.
To March.
He's saying yes. It's in March. Okay, cool. We missed it, guys.
Next year.
Yeah, darn. Next year. I wrote down Tampa. I think Tampa
Yeah.
would
No,
be.
it was in February, guys.
Dalton. He says it's. Wait, what? It was like February 28th. So just barely February. He says 95% of the time it's in March.
Yeah.
Well,
if there's leap year, then it's in February.
yeah.
I try not to lie to our viewers.
um, Tampa, I think would be cool in terms of
So St. Pete.
yeah, basically.
What if they drove around that entire highway that goes from Tampa to St. Pete? You guys ever driven on that?
I have
Clearwater?
not.
That is about like 40 minutes worth of straight highway over the ocean. It
Really?
seems like, yeah, it's a long trip, but that would be some race.
I think we just have him race rush hour on I-77.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that would be interesting. And by the way, I've tried to navigate I-77. I am a firm believer that if you really try and work your way and weave your way slowly through traffic, you will make up time.
Well, yeah.
I know this.
What a take. If you wave your way in and out of traffic, you
Well,
will
hold on.
make up
there's
time.
There's a whole MythBusters thing where it's like if you stay in the same lane, it's actually faster than it was weaving your way through. But I
If
guess
you drink beer, you will get drunk.
all right, you know what? Never mind. This is not
I
my
will
best
say, though,
showing this week.
I will say
It's not. I hope my mic is off.
I did take the toll, a couple of the toll ends on Thursday getting to the airport because traffic was awful, man.
Yeah.
At like 2 p.m. on a Thursday,
Yeah.
backed
pretty
up.
bad. Yeah. But I'm like, I guess what I'm trying to say to back myself up or maybe dig myself a little bit out of the hole of the statement I just made because it was pretty stupid. But like there are a line of cars where you think, oh, the traffic is bad, but it's just one slow car that's holding everybody up. If you just get out of the way, you're like, oh my God, why isn't everyone doing this?
You'd be amazed that traffic, like 90% of the time, is just people not knowing how to
human
merge.
caused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is, it's pretty wild.
That's why we just need self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, not to get on a whole I-77 rant, because that's not why we're here. Yeah, so, all right, out of this list, we all get to pick one.
Well, hold on a second.
That's our vote. What?
Are we done?
Yeah, I got through the whole...
What about we had someone put Boston on the list?
Oh, Boston. All right.
Going around Fenway,
That would be cool.
Seattle,
Seattle. Yep.
and then
Go didn't like Seattle. He's got a rivalry against Seattle, I guess.
I don't think it would work.
Seattle. No.
I think passing would be basically the same as F1, but Monaco.
Nah. I don't want to go to Monaco.
Yeah.
For that exact reason. Like, at least let's have let's give ourselves
But
some
think
hope
about
that
how
we're gonna
cool
get
the-
some passing.
Think about how
Not
cool
like a Monaco.
the qualifying could be that day.
Yeah.
Monaco
yeah.
doesn't work because we go side by side way too much.
Oh, I agree. But
I don't think we could ever.
listen, I'm trying to get Dirty Mo to go to Monaco.
I think Travis just wants to go to these cool places.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah,
really
yeah.
caring about the product.
All right. So out of the list, including Boston and Seattle, we get to pick one. Where would you guys want to go? Final vote.
I think I sold myself on Green Bay.
Really?
Yeah, I really
Just
did.
the neighborhoods?
I think the neighborhood idea. Listen, the people who live there might not love it, but
But
I
we're
think
coming.
it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. For me.
I'm not gonna pick the obvious one. I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Okay. That would be very interesting. That could be one where it could easily just be shot down right from the ideas phase of just like it is way too hilly and just too dangerous. You know what? In San Francisco, they got to go down that like famous
Yeah.
narrow winding road. Could you imagine that? Like that's part of the track. They would be zero passing. And if anyone got collected in a crash on that street, it would probably be a 3-hour red flag just to get them on, unstuck from there. But
Let's
that
do it,
would
Ben.
be that'd be interesting. I think Denver, Colorado would be neat. I've been to Colorado once. I love that state, and the West Coast kind of seems like there's tracks here and there, but I would love to get some more West Coast representation in terms of tracks, and that could be a cool way to get Denver involved.
I'm for that.
Yeah. So that's what I've got. Listen, we've got a great lineup of shows this week. Business and Motorsports with Sam Flood is out, including that S Junior segment where
Right
we
now.
talk. It's out right now. Go listen to it. Dale talked about the pinball machine, which I didn't know the story behind, which was very interesting. So if you haven't heard it yet, check it out on the podcast version. And then also I think we cut a full video of Ash Junior since we didn't get a chance to do it live for this week's show. So go check
I
that
want
out
to
on
play that
YouTube.
pinball machine.
You want to play that pinball?
So you get the high score.
Should we fire it up after this?
Yeah, like I think we need like a Dirty Mo pinball tournament.
Like a hot, yeah. All right.
Each person
set
gets
it
like
up.
3 tries. So you
Next
get the high
live, we'll
score.
move all the cameras over by the pinball
I think.
machine.
Like, don't you think that'd be awesome?
That would be neat.
Everybody gets 3 tries. Whoever gets the high score wins a trophy.
Okay.
Just find a trophy in the office and take it.
Yeah. Wins a tumbler.
Yes.
High
Yeah,
score
we have
wins a
plenty of
tumbler.
those.
Listen.
Or a Martinsville clock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that one.
DBC, Taylor Moyer, crew chief for Josh Berry, came in clutch, helping us out with some unexpected audibles we had to make during the show. It was a very interesting time, but man, he came in. It was actually the perfect week for him to come on and talk about everything with the Josh Berry news just coming out last week. He even said on his goals sheet in his office to start the season, it was not to win the championship. It was to get to Josh Berry
He said,
Cup.
and Kelly said that too, right? It wasn't just
Like
it
that
was
is
basically
cool.
like
They
a
are
company thing.
invested in making their drivers the best they can be, even if it means they got to leave the team at the end of the year.
Well, that's what
I thought that was neat.
Dale said. They've sent 10 drivers
Yeah,
to Cup.
yeah,
That's impressive.
it is. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you come to think of it, like,
And the list is very impressive.
yeah, it
too.
is. Like Chase Elliott, a champion.
Yeah.
William Byron's having a fantastic year. Did Alex Bowman?
Yep.
Alex
We
Bowman.
count him.
Yeah, we count him. I mean, high caliber drivers coming out of Junior Motorsports, and I
Yeah,
know I'm
and
missing some names.
Speaking of Byron,
Yeah, speaking of Byron,
The-
that's where I was going to go next.
the first Denny called it the first official guest. I'm gonna call William the second guest. Like Denny's mom was on.
Yep.
So I'm gonna. But William joined as the Actions Detrimental Bracket Challenge champion. He said he would come on, and we finally were able to get him on, and it was a fun interview. William was awesome, and then they talked about their incident from Texas last year and what went down. So now we have a new segment called "Is It Too Late to Say I'm Sorry?"
I love that.
So
I have not gotten to that part of the show yet. I've been slowly catching up on it, but I'm looking forward
I'm
to
curious
hearing that.
what fans would want the next driver to be about, like that's had an incident with.
Yeah.
I'll
Denny.
Give you one name.
I'm guessing Ross would be a lot of people, but I don't know. I want. There's a few that I'd rather hear before that one.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I'll give you one that might not be that popular. The Alex Bowman Martinsville one. I don't know if it was now last year or a year ago.
Oh, when he like put the car in front of him, right?
Yeah. I think that's something that does not get talked about enough. That was a wild moment at the time, and I'd like to hear them talk that out.
What's cool is any driver that Denny gets on, because I know Dale has had several drivers. He's had them talk about incidents that have happened on the racetrack, but since Denny's podcast is so new, any driver you get on the first time, man, all these stories are going to come forward. So, I mean, I'm sure you could probably, take random names, put them in a hat of Cup drivers in the field, pick one. It'll probably be a good episode if they came on Denny's podcast.
Yeah. No, William is awesome. He talked about dating Ryan Blaney's sister. He got into that a little bit at the end, so it was a fun listen.
Yeah.
I encourage people to check it out.
I'm looking forward to that. Dirty Modo. We're taping
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
we got an early morning taping. We Chop took it on the chin last week. Listen, when he put that card out, I said, well, that's a lot of Toyotas. If a Toyota doesn't win, it's gonna be bad. And well, Ross Chastain drives a Chevy. So luckily he entered the week up 71 units. So I'm guessing he probably lost 18-ish.
Dang.
We'll rebound, though. Having a loss and then going into a road course can kind of be a little. But I mean, I think this is his first.
Well, and how do you even prepare for Chicago? Like, there's nothing to go off.
Well, that's where the professor comes in with his knowledge and his numbers and the predictor model that he
Right.
has. And now, granted, though, you're right. You have a model, but still, it's an unknown track. I mean, NASCAR is not allowing Cup drivers to drive in the Xfinity Series. So they don't get an advantage.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see.
All
Have you-
sim work might be coming to big play there.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gone through and have you done your master sheet of odds?
It's almost finished. I think I'm missing a few things that.
So who are looking like the favorites for a race that has never happened before? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Give me a second here. I know Chase is at the top. Chase is up there, and then you got the usual suspects:
Reddick.
Byron, Larson, Allmendinger,
Right.
Bush, Truex, kind of,
Right. That makes sense.
Probably just go with some good road course guys at first, and then kind of adjust as the weekend goes
Right.
on. Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. So
I'm guessing, qualifying where you start is going to be huge, because if you can get out there and if it can stay green, who knows? With this course, sounds like you could have. Because William Byron said a lot of restarts and strategy will come into play.
Are we getting no cautions, no stage cautions because it's a road course?
I believe so.
Yeah.
that's big.
Because
There'll be cautions.
There will be plenty of cautions. Yeah.
Maybe you bet on that. There will be cautions.
That's
Over under on cautions.
That's
See,
what-
I would love to do some of those like prop bets.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't exist.
well, no, there's a lot that do exist, but they come out. A lot of the props and stuff coming out on like Sundays. There's a good
Right.
majority that are out now, but then on Sunday it really gets loaded. And then NASCAR too is if you can live bet, that's where it can get really fun.
that would be interesting.
The future's bright.
It is.
Travis, how is the your crew's standings? The bets you guys do at the end of the shows. How's the standings?
So we just started that. I'm winning barely, ahead of. I think I was up a unit and lost, so I'm at even and I'm winning.
nice. That's
But, I
good.
mean-
the crew's doing good.
But it's each person just gets to make one bet with one fake unit. We're not putting any real money down, and so it's tough when you can only pick one and you're trying to also play the odds and not just go with a driver that's favored to say like pick Kyle Larson top 10, like you'll win it, but if he's minus whatever, like you're barely winning anything, so you're trying to play some odds. And I had a Chris Buescher plus 300 2 weeks ago cash for me. That was a good one.
That's
Ooh.
good. Yeah, that's Sonoma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had him in a group bet against I forget who it was. I thought I was Ty Gibbs. I had him this past week, and I expected a little more out of him this weekend, but I mean he's been racing good, but he let me down, and I need to let him know that it can't happen again if I pick him.
Yeah. We'll get him on the phone. You can tell him face
Yeah.
to face. My one claim to fame is, and we can close on this. I used to call in as an analyst every week on like a sports betting show, and I was like the NASCAR guy. And I told them before the Daytona 500 in 2021, I said, put your money on Michael McDowell, and he goes and he wins the
So
race.
did you put your money down?
I did not, no. Because I couldn't bet. I was under 21.
He didn't have.
I guess that's kind of strange that they had an under 21 kid giving gambling advice. But, I told him what to bet. I didn't bet
you
myself.
should have told your
but,
dad to bet it.
Yeah, I know. And he called me. He called me after the 500. He's like, "Oh my god," because the guy on air put a bet on it. He's like, "You won me so much money." I'm like, "All right."
Gave you nothing.
Gave me nothing. Just
Just a
excited-
call. And
just
I never
an
heard from him
excited
again.
phone call, and then I actually didn't end up hearing from him again after that. I think I did too good of a job, but awesome. Well, thanks, Alex, for
Thanks for having
coming
me.
from above to
Anytime.
join us on Dirty Mo
Thanks
Live.
for getting your mic to finally work.
Yeah, we can hear you now. And I'll be in Chicago this week. I'm looking forward to heading over there. It's the home city.
I have one assignment for you.
All right.
When you get there, I need to know where turn 4 is at.
I'll find out for you.
Okay.
And actually, I'll probably consult Google first, so I probably don't even need to get
No,
there.
I want
figure
a
that out.
photo though too.
You want a photo of turn 4?
Yeah.
All right, I'll head over
Tweet
there.
it.
First thing I do. Anyways, thanks guys for coming on. Man on the street, keep an eye out for it. We're gonna be in the streets of Chicago doing that. Man on the street (parentheses course). That's what we're gonna call it. Anyways, all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome, Alex.